The book of Acts. I got into the book of Acts last week during my men's group or whatever, and just continuously read it. And this particular um, chapter, okay. So I woke up in the middle of the night and was talking to my wife. And usually when I wake up late like that, I um I tend to just go into my Bible and read it before I go to sleep. And I came across this particular short, mini little story in Acts, and I thought it was something that I wanted to share with you guys this morning. But Acts of the Apostles 14:8 through 10 says, while they were at Lystra, Paul and Barnabas came upon a man with crippled feet. He had been that way from birth, so he had never walked. He was sitting and listening as Paul preached. Looking straight at him, Paul realized he had faith to be healed. So Paul called to him in a loud voice, stand up. And the man jumped to his feet and started walking. And today, I'm just grateful for God's grace. I'm grateful for God's mercy. I'm grateful for God blessing me with undying faith, because this particular verse, this particular story, I should say, um, I mean, I guess you guys know a little bit about the way that I translate things sometimes now, right? And I know y'all had to hear the message in that right there because it stood out to me almost like it was highlighted in the book, you know? Because it said while Paul was preaching, and you know what it is, this man um had never walked from birth, right? So this person has never walked at all. So they don't know what it is to walk. They don't know what it is to stand up. Like without somebody lifting him up and helping them because he was obviously a paraplegic from birth. And but in the particular verse, Paul says he realized that he had the faith to be healed. And Paul told him to stand up. And he stood up. But the thing is that it wasn't that Paul was able to perform the miracle without that person having the faith. Paul told him to stand up after realizing that he he wanted to stand up. Like he knew that God could heal him. And he knew that only God could heal him. And that's why it's so important for us to when we walk into like how we walking into this new week, like we gotta already be walk with confidence in us, knowing that whatever it is that God has for us, He's gonna give to us. Whatever healing, whatever portion it is that God is going to give to our life, we just haven't received it yet, but we have enough faith inside us to know that it here, it on the way, it right there. Because see, in that particular verse you see what it says too. It said Paul looked him straight in the face and he realized that the man had the faith to be healed. That means that that man like he didn't develop that faith to be healed right then and there. He always knew that he was going to be healed. He just didn't know when. And that's just what it is. Like we just have to have that faith inside us, built inside us, knowing inside us that whatever it is that God has promised us, we're gonna have and we're gonna get it. And when he gives it to us, we just have to be grateful. So thank you guys again for the opportunity to speak. I see Precious and Ross in here and Dr. Jason Styles. So good to see everyone. I'm Gary and I'm going to relinquish my mic.